you have a lot of things that you want to achieve. I know because I'm like that as well. I have a ton on my plate, on my mind that I want to achieve. And there's only one thing that I used in my life so far that has helped me get to those objectives that I have. That is a goal setting framework. And it's just 6 steps. These 6 steps helped me in my life, both in my personal life as well as my business life. And I'm sure this will help you as well. So if you have certain objectives that you want to achieve, or you maybe a lot of ideas that you want to execute upon, and you've not been feeling like you've made progress, or you feel like you're overwhelmed, or you feel like you don't know what to do next, this framework, this simple 6-step framework will help you. So watch on. I will share this 6-step framework with you, but I want to hear your comments. Don't forget to leave a comment down below so that I can read them and respond to the questions that you have, or read about the experiences that you get after applying this 6-step framework. More importantly, if you like this video, or if you know anyone that might appreciate this video, please share this video with them, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button so that you'll be notified whenever I put out new videos like this. Watch on for the 6-step framework. Everybody wants to get stuff done. Everybody wants to achieve stuff. And the best way to do that is to really create goals. So I believe that it's actually easier to work on a plan than to come up with a plan. Sometimes creating a plan is the most difficult part. Not actually doing the plan, but actually being clear about what it is and creating something that can be executed on. That is something that I've learned over the years, and I've come up with a framework to help myself really be clear about my goals, to be able to articulate them, and to work towards them so that I can achieve the goals that I set for myself. And I'm going to share that framework with you. It's a framework that just takes 6 steps. So hopefully that's something that can help you, be clear about the goals that you want, and to create an action plan that actually helps you get there and achieve them. So the very first step, now this is something that I believe and is core to my philosophy in life. In anything that we need to do, we need to be absolutely clear about, number one, the end state. Right? This is something that I think needs to be first and foremost in our goal setting, exercise, goal setting, activity. And this is clear. No matter what area of life we are looking at, it could be finances, personal health, personal fitness. It could be your career, your business, your relationships, your mental well-being, your emotional state. Whatever it is, right? Whatever area of life it's in, you've got to be clear about what the end state is. I'm going to use personal fitness as an example because I think that's something that can relate, that many of you can relate to, and hopefully gives you an example, an illustration as to how this can be used in all other aspects of your life. So in terms of personal fitness, there are many levels at which we can work towards. A few years ago, when I was looking at my personal fitness journey, I was considering many things, and I wasn't really sure about what I was going to work towards. I thought that I wanted to work towards like the really fit people in the industry, in the area, in the space, right? And when you look at fitness, there are several like authorities and figures out there that are really large in that space, right? They have a very big presence. I remember one of them that really appealed to me was The Rock. I love his personality, love his attitude, love his values, and love his work ethic as well. Now, The Rock is not a small fella, he is massive. Similarly, other bodybuilders that you see in the fitness space are massive as well. Like I'm talking about the IFBB pros, the people that spend a lot of time on their fitness. And being new to that space, I thought that was something that I wanted to hit towards. I thought that was my goal. I thought that I wanted to be like them. Turns out that's not really true. Turns out that's not something that I really wanted, and that is key. to find something that you really want and that you really can commit to. Because when we look at end state, the one thing that we need to look at and consider is whether or not it's sustainable. Because we have to be ready and willing to commit to it. So when we consider things like being an IFBB pro or being a really being a really big muscular bodybuilder, there are things behind the scene, behind the front, that must be there as well. Fitness is the most obvious thing. You've got to really commit to a workout schedule that can be pretty intense. Number two, you've got to really make sure that your nutrition is on point as well. And that is something that I wasn't ready to commit to because of the lifestyle that I wanted. I wanted a lot more flexibility because of all the social gatherings and the social stuff that I had, plus the traveling that I wanted to do. So that was a life that I couldn't actually have bodybuilding in. I could, but going to be really, really rough. And was this something that was sustainable? Not really. So that's something that I personally, I couldn't commit to. It is still possible. There are people who have done it. I'm just saying that as an individual, on an individual basis, that's not something that was my end state. And you have to be really clear about the end state that you want to get to as well. Because your goals are supposed to be your goals and not somebody else's. Now that was a mindset shift. That shift helped me a lot in creating goals that were very personalized, and that's something that I could fully own. So that is the first step, being clear about the end state. The second thing is to be really clear about what it means, or how do you know if you are there, right? And this is something that is key to business as well. It is what I call being data driven, right? If you want to lose weight, right, you can't just say that, oh, I just want to lose weight, I just want to look good. There needs to be some measurable component to it, right? Whether it is your body weight, or whether it's your the way you look, whether it's body fat calipers that you're using to measure your body fat, whatever it is, there has to be something that allows you to measure it. Right? This happens in anything that we do as well. If your goal is about finances, maybe it's a certain amount that your portfolio needs to have. If it's business, maybe it's the amount of customers, the number of customers that you're serving. Maybe it's the revenue your business is bringing in. If it's relationships, how do you know if a relationship is good, right? Whether or not you're spending more time with that person, whether or not you're actually spending quality time talking, having conversations, specific conversations, number of conversations. These things become measurable. And that's why it's also that's why it's important to have it here as the second step in our goal setting process. So after we do that, the best thing that I found that we can do is to put all this into a action plan. Now, the difference between an action plan and a to-do list is one component that a to-do list does not have, and that is the component of time. So I like to make sure that there is a timeline to all the goals and all the steps that are necessary for those goals. Right? There's a timeline. The timeline can be split up into, if it's a big goal, it could be years, or if it's a smaller goal, it could be months. But essentially, we are breaking down the timeline, the time frame, into smaller chunks. So if, for example, we want to lose 10 kilos of body fat, of body weight, that's a goal that probably could take a few months and might be done within a year. So if it's a year, then we can split it down into quarters, and then months, and then weeks, and making sure that there's an action that we take every single time period. And then we can make sure that we look back and see I'm supposed to not eat junk food by the second quarter, and have I done that? Have I achieved that? That's something that is measurable and has a timeline to it. So that's important, because that actually allows us to create an action plan. So the difference between a to-do list and an action plan is that an action plan has a time component to it. And that's something that, is necessary for our goals. So once we know what our end state is, it's something that we absolutely can resonate with and commit to. We come up with something that's measurable, also measurable specifics, measurable like indicators that show us whether or not we are on track or off track. We come out with a timeline, with it, which means like specific time periods, specific time deadlines that show us whether again we are on track or off track. With all of this, we can then create an action plan. An action plan is a specific document that when we look at it, tells us whether we are on track or off track. And that's something that we can just follow, right? If we wake up every day, we know what it is that we are supposed to be working on. Especially, this week, next week, 1 month from now, 1 quarter from now, 1 year from now, right? It's like a map. We know whether we are on track or off track. So that's the next thing that we need to do. The next thing is to really translate this from something that's just in our mind onto paper. It doesn't have to be pen and paper. It can be on the computer as well. For me, I don't really use pen paper that much. I use that as a scratch pad, but what I really use is the computer, specifically Notion. Notion is a note-taking tool, and it is my brain dump. I keep everything on there, on the desktop. It also has mobile apps, so you can actually access it on your phone, and you can both like create and edit your Notion documents, your Notion information, anywhere you are, as long as you have an internet connection, right? So that's something that really helps because it makes it translates what's in your mind into something that's very, very concrete and tangible. So write it down. And the sixth step is to really make sure that when you take action, you want to go back and reevaluate. Writing down and having that plan on paper is great, but as with almost everything in life, it is fluid. It is fluid because things will change, right? We discover new information. We discover new things. When I was on my personal fitness journey, I discovered those things as well. I tried various workouts. I tried various diets. I tried various goals as well. And I realized those things kept changing. And that was when I figured out things that appealed to me, didn't appeal to me, things that I could commit to, things that worked and things that didn't work. All that knowledge changed my goals. And even though the direction was there, even though the end state was there, I still had to make sure that I had a space and that leeway to really change things around. And that's why the last step is to really reevaluate or assess your progress, right? And with that, you can actually like change things around and make sure that you're still on track in the right direction that you're supposed to be going towards. This is my 6-step goal setting, goal achieving process. I use this in all areas of my life. Again, it can be anything from not just business, right? But your personal life, your relationships, your finances, your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, your health, right? Whatever it is that we want to make progress in our lives, we can use this framework for. Hopefully this helps. If you like this, let me know. Drop me a comment telling me like what aspect you liked, you agreed upon, or you didn't agree with. I read all comments, so do that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. I want to know if this kind of videos are like helpful to you. So let me know, right? The best way to do that is to like, comment, share this video, and more importantly, subscribe so that you get notified whenever I put out new videos. Hopefully this helps. I look forward to seeing your goals and you achieving them. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.